Um, Hi, I'm Lindsay. My theory was on psychoanalytical. I actually had a hard time with my theory. I think part of that is because I had a hard time figuring out how it would relate to school counseling, which is what I plan on doing, and I had a hard time understanding how I would use it. So while searching and learning more about this theory, I found a couple of visuals that I have found helpful to help me understand more of exactly what Freud meant in his theory. Okay, so what I have here are some slides that sort of have visuals and some other aids to help us understand more about what exactly psychoanalytical is. Alright, this first one is showing you back to where it talks about how Freud feels that there's three different parts of your mind. You have your ego, your superego, and there's the id. The id is in your unconscious level, and if you can't see, that's down here, the unconscious. Your id is basically you're just reacting, not thinking. Your ego is where you're thinking about it, you're putting some thought to it, and your superego is where you're actually thinking, oh, okay, is this right? Is this wrong? Is this good? Is it bad? And then your conscience level is the part of the iceberg that they have here that's the only part sticking out of the water. Alright, again, sort of another shot of it. It shows from the top that you have your conscious area that's up here, where you know what you're aware of what's going on, you're aware of the problem. When you get down to the unconscious level, that's where, you know, you're not sure what's causing the issue, the urge, the desire. And that's sort of the part where I think in psychoanalytical what they're trying to get to is what's the unconscious thing that, you know, that's causing this underlying problem they might have. Again, your superego is the one that sort of helps try to balance the ego and id out. It is basically like you're making sure if you're looking at it and deciding, is this right, is this wrong? And that's what helps decide from there. From here, it's showing that your ego is your executive mediator is what it calls it, and your superego is internalized ideals, with your id still being unconscious, and it's basically the psycho energy or psychic energy that Freud talks about in his theory. Your unconscious mind is not accessible, which is down here, and then your conscious mind is present awareness, and preconscious mind is outside awareness but accessible. You can get to it. Things that you can recall, retrieve, memories that you can remember off the top of your head, whereas ones down here, ones that have almost been pushed away so you don't remember them. This one's talking about the id, the ego, the superego. The id saying I want it now, that's the one that doesn't have a whole lot of thinking involved, just reacts instead. Your ego is talking about how it needs to do planning to get it. I need to do planning to get to it. And the superego, again, is the one who sort of mediates it. Okay, decides, okay, is this right or is it wrong? And here they're saying you can't have it, you know it's not right. And so it's the one that determines right from wrong. The one thing that I feel that every pre-service counselor must know about this theory is that this theory believes that life is predetermined, that the first 6 years of your life are what predetermine the rest of it. And I feel that's something that you should definitely know about psychoanalytical.